Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoilercast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. All right, it is Sunday, January 20... Is that 28th?
Yes.
No, what is it?
Yes.
Is it 28th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Holy shit, time flies by. And I like the episode that Richard has named this, New Year News Me. So this is all news for whatever's been going on. We got caught up in everything. We didn't do any news like the last however many months. Played a little bit of catch up, just a little bit. Let's start some things off. TMNT is relaunching here in like June with writer Jason Aaron, Alabama boy himself, Jason Aaron. We read his Thor series. What is y'all's whelming on this? Like, are y'all excited about this from the TMNT?
So I knew coming into this that I was like, crap, I know this guy's name.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know we read this. I know we read something. And I tried to look it up real quick. And he's got like 8 bajillion different books that he's written.
Right?
So I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to get shamed for not remembering which one we read.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
I will say, like, I thoroughly enjoyed reading the Thor, that series there. Obviously, major flop on the movie part, but I thoroughly enjoyed his run there for Thor. So whenever I saw his name on there, I was like, I know I really enjoyed his. There were several, I think there were other ones that we were thinking about reading of his. And whenever I was reading the article, it sounded like he was kind of raised up on some of the traditional TMNT, and just him talking about how he was honored to be chosen to do it, and like it's just a kid's dream come to be able to write for him. So I'm honestly really excited about it. I think it'd be really cool to read them.
Cool.
Oh, and sorry to give the whelming. I guess sorry. I guess
Damn, you got shamed and lost on the Price is Right.
Just off to a great start. This new me is not doing very well.
No, it's not.
News you.
Yeah, sorry. I'm old news apparently. But I am so.
Sorry. That was a funny joke.
I am pleasantly whelmed. I'll say I'm pleasantly whelmed.
Nice.
On the top in there, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Richard?
You know what? I hadn't even thought about like whelming, but I am absolutely overwhelmed by this news. I like this news a lot. I love Jason Aaron. So yeah, I'm excited. I like that they're going to do a relaunch of it. I'm very excited to see what they do. I need to catch up on IDW's run, but it's quite good. So anyway, this really excites me.
Yeah, I like that they're doing a relaunch instead of a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So like all 150 issues of IDW's run, it will be within that same universe.
Yeah, it's still canon.
It just gives us a good starting point for people instead of seeing issue 151 and being like, oh, it's just another team. Like, no, you got a brand new issue with a new writer, new team.
Yeah.
And the last time that happened was around issue 101. They didn't do a relaunch then. They just did, or they didn't do a reboot then. They just had a new writing team come in.
So to make sure I understand on that is like, it'll say if you're on 150 right now, if you can just go straight into reading Jason Aaron's, like it's not like it's changing the story much. It's just him having his own writing style and take like characters a little bit.
Correct. Yeah, it'll be his story, his take on the Turtles then. And so everything that happened before that in IDW run is canon, like Richard was saying. It's all happened. It's in their memories. It's in there. So he can play with those things as well.
Yeah.
But he can just now start doing his own team with his own drawing, his own art team and all that kind of jazz. I think more importantly, it lets everybody know who's thought about picking up TMNT. Hey, here's our number one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's a great jumping on point for you.
Yeah.
And I know that Marvel gets a lot of flack for that, but when I read this, I don't know what it did, but it made it click for me because the recent Daredevil run with Chip Zdarsky has started over to number one 3 times. Literally 3 times it started over. But him as a writer stayed the same. But that let people know that we're interested in Daredevil. Hey, a new arc is about to start, pretty much. And so you could jump on at that number 1. And if you liked it, you could go back and read the other Chip Zdarsky stuff. Or you can continue on to the next arc or whatever else the case is. I see it as like a double-edged sword kind of thing where it's like, that's stupid to keep doing number 1s. But at the same time, like to let new readers know, here's something new.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And I think needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the good and bad thing about that, I mean, yeah, like it's nice that you can go ahead and continue that story, but then we don't get the whole like Richard Simmons training of karate like we got in the new movie.
I did not know where you were going with that when you said Richard Simmons.
There may be flashbacks.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I was going to say is this is a relaunch, like Michael said, not a I can't remember now. What
Reboot.
Reboot. Thank you. So I think we're not going to get an origin story. It's just going to pick up. They're the Turtles. They've been the Turtles. They've had all the history from the previous issues. Jason Aaron is now at the helm to steer where they head from here, where the Turtles head from here.
Yeah.
And then like one of the major things was a character named Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Her character development won't change either. And she became a turtle there before issue 100. Around issue 95, she became a female Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, God. I didn't know
which
about
was like the first, but not the first.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember. The reason why I don't like it is I'm getting PTSD flashbacks to the live action television show that like crossed over
Venus.
with Venus, that's her name.
Yes.
She was light. Her color of bandana was light blue, like baby blue, and she had like turtle boobs.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was very Howard the Duck.
Yeah, it did. I real quick, Comic Pasta. I was watching. We were talking about Howard the Duck, and I was telling my wife about the live action movie and how awkward it is. And at one point, I pulled up an image, and it was like Howard the Duck with boobies, and the comment underneath it was ditties.
Yeah, yeah,
and that just made me giggle so much. Anyway, sorry, Comic Pasta.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah,
and George Lucas helped.
Yeah, I know. We've got to watch that and do a review of it at some point this year.
Hey, I have it. I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool. Jeremy, don't let your kids watch it.
No.
Oh, okay.
I am, as far as my whelming on this Jason Aaron, I'm pissed off about it, honestly.
Oh, no.
Really?
Why?
Really, I am. Because I was honestly thinking about dropping the TMNT title at 150. And then I heard he was going to be on it. And I was like, well, fuck me. I guess I have to start buying it some more.
I mean, you don't
because
have to.
No, I do. I do. I didn't care anything about Thor, but by God, that God of Thunder run is freaking, especially those 2 first volumes, is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asked here however long ago about some rereadable stuff. Those 2 volumes are absolutely God Butcher and God Bomb. Those are definitely rereadable ones. Yeah. Definitely. So yes, now I'm like, well, I was going to save like 3 something a month and now not.
I really want us to read his Doctor Strange. His Doctor Strange, like the End of Magic stuff, is really good as well.
I'm like 1 issue away from having the whole Southern Bastards run.
Yeah, I want to read that.
I'm going to read that as soon as I get that in. So it's about like a town in Alabama that's somewhat made up, but it's like about high school football. And I'm like,
really?
What's more fucking Alabama than high school football?
Yeah, for real. For real.
So I will have to say, and again, this is not the high school stadiums out here in Texas. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Texas.
My gosh. Yeah. I'm like, that's just insane. But
everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl.
Well, needless to say, I am overwhelmed with Jason Aaron taking the wheel and driving TMNT. They listed out the artists, and I failed to grab those, but the artists have been announced for that run as well, and I'm pretty excited about them too. On to something I'm not excited about at all. Have y'all seen the Madam Web trailer?
Yeah.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Richard, what's your whelming on this?
It's fucking underwhelmed. I have 2 notes for this because I don't even want to give it the time of day. It looks like dog shit and it looks like CW garbage.
Yeah.
Green Arrow was good. The Flash was good.
Yeah, but that's that would be considered like this looks like Riverdale. Fucking what those vampire shows that they have on
Diaries.
there. Yeah, Vampire Diaries. What's the other one? Like the originals or whatever the I don't know what the fuck they're called. They're fucking garbage is what they are. To add insult to injury, I sent an article. It's going to be almost nigh 2 hours. It's going to be 2 hours of this bullshit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a long, boring movie.
Yeah, and they keep showing like all the girls in their costumes and everything, and I guarantee you that's either going to be a flashback or flash forward or some vision, and it may be like the last like 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like the rest of the time they're just going to be in streetwear, futzing about, trying to escape Ezekiel. Like who gives a fucking shit? I hate Sony so much. I hate them so much. Anyway,
Jeremy, what's your whelming on this?
I mean, I'm honestly underwhelmed as well. Just I don't know much about Madam Web, but to me, it looks like a bad Twilight Marvel mix kind of thing, like Sony mix, and it just because even the main actress, even throughout the trailer,
Dakota Johnson. Sorry.
Yeah, like she has no emotion. Like she's like, no, there's hardly anything going on there. And I'm like,
that's your type of woman, though.
Well,
damn.
She got better though.
She did. Better. She did. She absolutely did. The Marvels, she got yes. She redeemed herself in that for me.
I saw the potential there. So I don't see potential with Dakota Johnson. Like that's just.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, you're fine. Looking through that trailer, I was like, this is just not going to go well. And even to me, like, it doesn't give any kind of vibe of being anywhere in the realm of like Spider-Man stuff.
Well, it's anyway. And I saw a trailer recently on TV that was like there was a line, something, it was like, from the world of Marvel or something like that. And I'm like, they are deliberately trying to confuse people and be like, oh, it's a new Marvel movie, I should go see it. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's the Sony bullshit. And you don't really need to know anything about Madam Web, because she's not that important of a character. Yes, I know she is part of the web of life and she's part of like the Spider-Verse stuff, but like, let's be real, she's not that big important of a character. It's just Sony going, what do we got? What do we got? What's important? What's hot right now? The Spider-Verse is hot. What can we use? Oh, we'll use Madam Web. It's so fucking lazily. It looks like the movie looks like it was written by AI. Like that's that lazy.
What about you, Michael?
Oh, I'm totally underwhelmed by this.
Yeah.
Like, I hope it's good just because I hope everything is good.
Yeah.
You know? I can't remember the actress's name. Sweeney something.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney. No, not Sweeney Todd. Sydney Sweeney, yes.
Yes. Her and she is playing Julia Carpenter, if I'm not mistaken. From what little you see of her outfit, I was like, you know what? I like that. The rest of them, I didn't like at all. But hers, I was like, pretty cool. I like it. As far as the whole movie, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It looks like CW.
The other thing that's so cringy, sorry to interrupt real quick, Michael. The other thing that's so cringy too is they got a lot of like hot, sexy females to play. Like I'm bringing this up because of Dakota Johnson. They're like aping off of Dakota Johnson being in the 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah. And like they're like marketing like this whole thing about, yeah, it's sexy Spider-Man kind of, and it's just so cringy as fuck, man. It's so bad.
what's so bothersome is that like Marvel has been accused of the whole MCU thing and whatnot like that.
Right.
You've got Star Wars over here who's been talking about hiring a lady that wants to make men feel uncomfortable while going to see movies. And I'm like, you obviously don't know the audience for this. Not that women can't like it. Not that women don't like Star Wars. But I don't feel like growing up as a nerd.
Well,
you didn't have like female nerds really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't. But anyway,
okay.
I've met plenty of female nerds along the way.
Along the way, yes. I just think they're more rare than men.
I don't know. I think that's very anecdotal. Like, in other words, that is something that only you experienced. I don't think that's
maybe so
as a whole. But
maybe so. But I feel like I'm like, okay, I feel like she didn't know the audience. Regardless, where I was trying to get to with that statement is you got one extreme over here of let's make men uncomfortable. You've got another extreme over here of like, let's put a bunch of sexy women on there and maybe we'll get all the guys and whoever else to come out and see the sexy spider ladies. And it's like, I just want something that's like fun nerd stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all I really want.
Well, I want Sony to just give up the ghost and not make Spider-Man movies, not make movies anymore, actually. I want them to just stop making movies because everything they usually make is garbage. And they should just continue making electronics and video games.
Yep.
But see, I don't care. Like, I don't care who makes it. As long as it's just fun nerd stuff for everybody. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I just want everybody to have fun nerd stuff to watch. Like, that's it.
Right.
It's not hard. I don't feel like it's hard. I feel like we nerdcast and talk and whatever else on here and come up with some pretty cool stuff. Not everything's a banger, but at the same time, like, the only time we make people uncomfortable is when we're talking about sexual things, and that's just goofing off. We know better than Kevin Smith. Come on. Well, question. Do y'all think this would be better presented as an animated thing? They did really well with Miles. Do you think
Madam Web? No, absolutely.
Do you think Madam Web should have been animated?
No. No one gives a shit about Madam Web. Do you care about Madam Web? Honest to God. Do you care about Madam Web?
No, there's lots of shit that I don't give a fuck about.
Jeremy, do you care about Madam Web?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. So no one gives a shit about Madam Web.
Oh, man.
Who do you think the Spider-Man is in this universe?
Who cares? Again, who cares? This movie, it better flop. If people go, because I know a lot of people plan on going to see it because of like, how funny bad this movie is going to be. If this movie makes enough for them to warrant a sequel, I'm going to be so pissed off because like, no, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm not seeing this fucking movie. Fuck this movie. And I don't think it would be well as an animated movie.
Well, it's coming out February 14th, so a good Valentine's Day movie at least.
Nope.
Get some sexy time during the movie and
no.
Maybe inspire the bedroom.
Yeah.
Get tangled in some webs later.
Yeah, if I took my wife to see that, it would not be a sexy time. It would be why the hell did you take me to see this dumb movie?
Well, as we sit here and bash Madam Web and how it should not even be made by Richard's standard anyways, Tatiana Maslany says the second season of She-Hulk is not coming out either. Whether it be a season 2, she says, I don't think so. I think we blew our budget. And Disney was like, no thanks.
Yeah. And then she kind of backtracked it. Or, excuse me, I don't know if she did. But it said in that other article I sent, it was like IO9 shared an update according to the site source. Maslany's comments are basically accurate, just lacking some context. That context is when CEO Bob Iger returned to Disney and changed much of Marvel's direction. Everything was reevaluated. So while Marvel works everything out, it is not that a second season of She-Hulk has been completely abandoned. It just seems less likely than at the moment. It wasn't in that article, but they spent $25 million an episode.
Each episode?
Yeah,
Jeez.
an episode.
Which was more than Game of Thrones, was it not?
Yeah. Game of Thrones, I think like the last season. Game of Thrones, like early seasons, didn't have that big of a budget.
Is it just like kind of greatly because of all the CGI she takes?
It was that. There was a lot of like big name actors like in the role. It wasn't just like, whatever, just little names.
Wong.
Yeah, Wong was there. Well, I don't mean just
The
that.
Sorcerer Supreme, y'all.
Yes, exactly.
He warrants 25 million himself.
Blonsky as well was in there. He's a big name.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of big names that were in there. But yeah, mostly it was due to CGI. But
Megan Thee Stallion.
yeah, forgot about Megan Thee Stallion. She's in there. Yep. But when I forget the head writer now, she wrote for Rick and Morty. When asked, she asked Kevin Feige, like, hey, what? I know our budget's this, but like, what if we go over? Because we want to do like episodes with She-Hulk. And Feige said to her, if I watch a She-Hulk show, I want to see She-Hulk.
Right?
Yeah.
She took that as like, okay, we get carte blanche to do what we do, but again, that was when different heads were at the top, and now that Iger's back, and also streaming in general, they don't get their money's worth back that they put into the shows. So anyway, Disney Plus lost a shitload of money, not just because of She-Hulk, but because of a lot of stuff, and they're just like, nope, cutting it back. We're doing all street levels stuff, so we don't have to do a lot of big budget things.
Right.
Yeah. So there was one thing in the article that I was going to ask about, curious about. Like it said in there that she received apparently some like sexist backlash. And I have any idea like what was up with that.
It was all the stuff like Michael said, the MCU that they've been complaining about. Literally those. If you'll remember, I want to say it was like the second or first episode. There was like all these like online comments like in the episode.
Oh yeah.
They not stole that, but they took those comments from Twitter when they announced a She-Hulk show. Those were actual real comments about like, I don't understand why we have a She-Hulk and not a He-Hulk or something like that. It's a bunch of dumb people who think they. I mean, it is. She-Hulk's been around since when did we talked about? She's been around since the fucking 70s, man.
Yeah.
She's not something that they just immediately changed to be quote unquote. I don't even like saying this word because it drives me insane, but woke. And because it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? But anyway. It's all those like dudes like being pissed because, oh no, we don't have, we got, it's a woman in a role, in a main role. Like, who cares? I don't understand now. I'm just going here. I don't fucking understand now how like we grew up with fucking Sigourney Weaver as like an action star in Alien and Aliens and Alien 3 and that awful Alien 4 movie. We grew up with a lot of strong female protagonists. Now, if you put it in a movie, people lose their goddamn minds. It's like, oh my God, Mary Sue. Oh my God, the movie's woke. Heavens forbid. And it pisses me the fuck off, honestly. It does. It really does. Because I'm like, grow up. Like, I know that's ironic, me talking about like comic book movies and cartoon show, but like, grow the fuck up. It's a woman in a lead role. Who cares?
Yeah. And I mean, like, I agree on that. Like, I think it's just more along the lines of like, it's the ones that try and specifically do those lead roles to cater to these whatever, to whether it be like a sex or race or whatever, like, or whatever kind of walk of life that you're on. And Disney got some hate on it too for them pushing these other roles whenever like people weren't really wanting that. And it's not, and it's trying to be like you said, the whole quote unquote woke thing that I don't agree with, and that they're trying to say that they're all a part of, but yet, I mean, nobody really understands it, what the heck it is. Because the minute you think you got it, somebody else over here is going to get their feelings hurt, and they're going to say, oh, no, that's wrong. So it's really, like you said, just do the daggone movie the way that it should be, or whatever it is you're doing. Do it the way that you feel is the right way. Or if it's a one that's an established character already, leave it that way. There's a reason why that character is established, and just go on. Like,
right.
Yeah, I know. I would agree. Like sometimes when it depends on me, to me, because like sometimes a character's race or sex isn't necessarily dependent on that character.
Correct.
That part I don't care. Like Lex Luthor. I think Lex Luthor doesn't matter if he's black, white, whatever.
He just has to be bald.
Yeah, exactly. He just has to be bald, and he has to have a persona. You know, this rich billionaire with a messiah complex. Like he's got to be that.
Genius.
And the thing that I constantly go back to and I constantly say, and I've said it on here and I'll say it again, is if you mess up the core of that character, in other words, like Magneto, I feel like there's talks of maybe race changing Magneto. I don't necessarily care about the race change, but if he's not Jewish, it really bothers me.
Right.
It really bothers me because that is the core of his character. It's what makes him and it's what drives him to do the things that he does. But if they change, whatever, if they change, the only thing I can think of right now, because a lot of people are talking about, because of Netflix being canon now, which is the thing we'll talk about, Colleen Wing being the Iron Fist. I don't give a shit because I don't give a shit about Iron Fist. What's his name as Danny Rand was fucking terrible. So, and Colleen Wing was better. So absolutely switch her in. I don't even care about like, I'm trying to think, you know, I joked about like gingers being replaced by black actors. And it's weird, but like when they replaced Mary Jane and Zendaya was MJ, if you will, Michelle Jones, technically not Mary Jane, but Michelle Jones.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that because you know why? She captured the core that is Mary Jane. So like, that's the part that I get so I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up. Like it's still the same sort of relationship. And I do understand certain things when they change certain other things. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. But anyway, that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with that. It's not because I'm angry that it's a woman or a race or whatever, but it just drives, like the She-Hulk thing really bugged me because I'm like, She-Hulk is an established character that's been around forever. And I'm so tired of those types of people. The reason being is because I'm a fandom of a lot of those things. And when that fandom decides to be toxic towards something that I like, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? Like, anyway, that's my TED talk for today.
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of got us off. It just kind of threw me off because I didn't know like what that was all about. Because I I really don't pay attention to what's out on social media and stuff like that anyway. So stuff happens. I'm like, okay. I didn't know that, but
yeah,
that doesn't say much either. So, but as far as like the whole second season thing with her, I enjoyed the first season for the most part, kind of, but it doesn't necessarily like, you know, hurt my feelings one way or another if she gets another one or she doesn't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would like to see a second season because I want them to lean more heavy. Like I said, I would love more like crazy bullshit of like whatever, like Doctor Strange is suing Wong for the title of Sorcerer Supreme because he doesn't deserve it or something. Like, you know what I mean? I want stuff. I want more court silly stuff. Like the little bit that we got with the court of like, you know, I forget the light elf impersonating somebody. And there was a couple others. But anyway, I want to see more of that than less of her like having to like fight someone, take her blood or whatever. That part was kind of the weakest point of it. Anyway, the Dan Slott supposedly run is what it was loosely based off, which deals with a lot of silly courtroom. Like I said, eventually she's suing the Watcher because the Watcher watched this race that's like very private. It's like a space trial. It's funny. I would love to see something like that. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about a season 2. I could not care less about getting a season 2. But I hope that Tatiana comes back and I hope they use the character, whether it be in other TV shows, her making appearances and other things and they bring a courtroom there and she's the attorney for whoever in that.
Mm-hmm.
Movies, I'd love to see her be She-Hulk in like a World War Hulk, or cool. in some kind of weird World War Hulk story, or the new Captain America with Sam Wilson. I'd be cool with that. Just anything for her to bring her back because I think she did a good job as She-Hulk. So I think she caught what that character was and was able to put on a good show. I'd love to see Nikki and Pug come back for whatever randomness. That was always fun. But as far as like getting another season of it, I just don't think they found an audience. I think that those sitcom comedies like hit too far between. I think they were looking for a Modern Family or a Seinfeld or something like that. And it's just, I don't know. I just think those hit too far between.
Yeah, I mean, but same time, if it doesn't involve like doom, destruction, death, I don't think that falls in your category. So
No, you're right. Like, real talk. Yes. Like, my soul is definitely black. Like, but
yeah, I get what you're saying though.
And the character does deal with like adult themes and finding adult humor, but like my son enjoyed episodes of She-Hulk. Now I couldn't let him watch everything.
Yeah.
So, I had, and that's, of course I have to be a parent. I have children. I understand this. I'm not knocking being a parent or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, I can't sit there and enjoy a whole season uninterrupted with my son watching this because of some of the adult themes that are in it. Granted, that is She-Hulk though. Like, that's still true to the character. So I kind of feel like, though, if you're looking for something like that to where like all audiences, you might have to tone it down some. You can still have the character be who she is, but do some like, clever Disney innuendos and whatever to, you know what I mean? Hint at what's going on.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with her though.
Yeah. I definitely want her for a movie. I agree with that. Like, if we're not getting a second season, put her in a movie, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I think she did great. One movie that is coming out, Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, digitally, January 23rd, which was, 5 days ago.
Yeah.
We're on top of things here.
Yep.
Right? Right? Did y'all happen to see that?
No.
No.
Honestly, like, whenever I saw that it was going to digital, I was like, this seems kind of fast. And then I saw that it was still in theaters in some way. I was like, wait a minute, like, what's happening here? Like, just that bad, or like, what happened?
I think nobody cares. I think, well, it's the same stuff we've always talked about. It's too expensive to go to the movie theaters. And it's the end of an era that everybody's kind of let go of now. And I think the only reason this made it to where it is now is because Peter Safran has a hand in it. Like, it's part of his production. So, and then I think they're trying to stay on good talking terms with Momoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that he can come back and do something else.
So he
whether it
can
be
come back.
Aquaman or Lobo or
I was
whatever.
supposed to say no, because so he can come back and be Lobo. Because if he's coming back as anything, it better be fucking Lobo. Yeah, the thing that I thought was interesting was that the sequel, I pulled it from the comicbookmovie.com article that was the DCEU sequel has exceeded expectations at the box office despite largely negative reviews, grossing an impressive $375 million. I haven't pulled the numbers, but I want to say I saw an article while looking up some stuff about Aquaman. It looked like it was going to break even on its budget. So it did surprisingly well for, being expensive to go to the movie theater, superhero fatigue, the DCEU's death. Like, I was kind of blown away to hear that it made that much money.
Yeah.
Well, from what I heard as well, it did better than the Marvels.
Oh, yeah.
Which honestly,
Really?
like, it does surprise me,
Yeah.
but it doesn't at the same time. Because, like, I hear all the things that people talk about and judging it before they watch it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you just go into it thinking, I'm just here to watch a fun comic book movie, you'd have a fun time watching the Marvels. Like, I really firmly believe that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, her first movie didn't go so well.
Correct.
And I think Aquaman, the first one, did a little better. than
Yeah.
Oh,
hers.
no, it did more than it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you already had that carrying over. So
That's
I
true.
think that's part of what had those kind of results. But
I didn't look up the numbers, but weirdly, Aquaman did really well in like the overseas market in like China and stuff. So I don't know if maybe that's what helped it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I know you're right as far as what you've looked up, but I'm just saying, like, I think you guessing that the overseas helped out is correct, because I want to say, like, when I was paying attention to it the first week, it was like, here in the US it's doing this, which was like, bum, 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 bum. And then it was like, but in China it's doing this, and it was like, ding, 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 ding.
I don't have a ding, 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 ding. You know, I'm going to steal that and use that as a soundbite from here on.
That's great. DC's got some other stuff up their sleeve, though, with Supergirl casting. We've got, from a reputable, like, rumor mill source, insider, if you will, that Millie, I'm going to probably
It's
butcher
Alcock.
this. Is it really
Yeah,
Alcock?
it's Alcock.
Alcock.
Yeah, we got Corn Sweat and Alcock.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Yep. Sweaty Corn and Al's cock. So,
Aw. It's those British names, man. Cumberbatch, Corn Sweat, Alcock.
y'all got to do better.
Yeah.
We got some folks from the UK listening. I know. I've seen y'all's little red dot. Y'all got to do better. I'm just saying. Anyway, she is known for House of Dragons.
Yeah.
She played a younger version of, I believe it's
Rhaenyra.
Targaryen. Yeah.
Yeah, Princess
Daenerys.
Rhaenyra
Not Daenerys.
Targaryen
Yes.
in
Yes,
House of
Rhaenyra.
Dragons.
I actually enjoy House of Dragons. I really enjoy that character. And even her as, the younger version, I enjoyed that. So that's cool. And then Meg Donnelly? Donnelly? Disney Zombies. Know nothing about this at all. Oh, you know something.
Oh, well, she's my vote for Kara Zor-El, and the
Oh,
reason
okay
being
then.
is because she voiced her in the cartoon of Legion of Superheroes, the DC animated film. She's
Nice.
already played Supergirl, so she already
Yeah.
knows her, sounds like her. Guns wanting to do this whole actor voices the character in the cartoons and video games and all this stuff. So there you go. She's my top pick.
All right, then.
That's actually what the article was saying too, about that she voiced her, so it seems that she's already got kind of a one up.
Yeah.
So I just sure sounds good.
Yeah. The reason I sent that is because there was a rumor coming out that was between 3 actresses, and 2 of which were these 2, and then the third one was I can't remember her name, but she was in Lock and Key. She was the main female protagonist in Lock and Key, like the sister. I can't remember her name at all. Anyway, cool story. Anyway, apparently now it's been updated that she's out and these 2 are still in the running. So I'm assuming, because that same sort of reputable source is the same people who've been telling us about Corn Sweat and all the other people. So I'm assuming that this is probably, like, in the next week or so, we'll probably get our Supergirl finally.
Yeah, they were also saying in that article that that insider is usually pretty spot on, that they would not be surprised to hear one of those being announced as well. Comic Pasta, I have not seen Lock and Key. That is a comic book property. It's on
is it?
Netflix. But by your statement, Jeremy, I'm not going to ask you this question.
Well, yeah,
but Richard, have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen all season. I've seen the series is over with. I've watched all seasons of it.
Oh, I didn't realize there was more than one season.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. I want to say it's 3.
Okay.
It's okay. So when I watched the first season, I was like, I knew it was a comic or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to read the comic. And I was reading it and I was like, oh, I really like this and stuff. But basically the main sort of plot is basically flushed out in one season. Like on the whole overarching sort of plot with Dodge in the comic is just sort of done with season 1. And then they try to ape and bring her back for season 2. And then they have another villain for season 3. And it just feels like very, I don't know, like Walking Dead, sort of stretching out these story arcs that don't need to be stretched out. So it's okay. I like it. It was cool. I kind of recommend watching it, but it's definitely not a must watch, if you will.
Okay, so I read the first volume of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got some crazy fucking moments in it.
Yeah, it
some
does.
absolute absurd, crazy fucking moments in it.
Mm-hmm.
Does Netflix live up to that?
Yes and no. Sometimes, but not really.
All right, that tells me nothing. Cool. So,
I mean, I need to, I don't want to waste more time, but I just need to know what exactly you're referring to, and I can tell you if that was in the show or not.
we'll do that another episode.
Okay.
Right now, we've got fantastic forecasting to talk about, and Daniel Rickman, aka Daniel RPK, who has been, from what I understand, shoddy as of lately.
Yeah.
And it's probably not because of him or his sources, but because of all the changes that have just been going on in Marvel, more than likely. But he also could be losing it. Who knows?
Yeah.
The rumor so far is Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, who I think, was it you, Richard, who was like, yes, he's absolutely the new Will Smith of our generation or this generation?
No, I did not say that. No.
Okay, well then I think he is. I
Mm.
think Pedro Pascal is the new Rock, the new Will Smith, the
Mm.
new.
He is in everything.
Really?
he's in everything. He's in absolutely everything.
He's Joel from The Last of Us. All the actors that
The
supposedly,
Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's the Mandalorian in The Mandalorian. He's Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. He's Whiskey from the Kingsman, The Golden Circle. He's in a ton of stuff. He's in.
Right.
I want to say he's in like Narco or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff.
So yeah, him as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby for Sue Storm.
Yeah.
Joseph Quinn for Human Torch. And I'm going to butcher this one,
I got
but Ebon Moss Backrack.
you. Yeah, actually, Ebon Moss Backrack.
Okay. Backrack.
Yes.
Backrack.
It could be
Corn
pronounced
Sweat and
Backrack.
Al Cock.
Yeah.
Damn it. The Thing. I know that he came out. Somebody questioned him about him being the Thing. He's like, I can neither deny that nor confirm it. So take that for what you will. You got Javier Bardem as Galactus. And this one's been getting a lot of like talk, especially in the nerd circles. Anya Taylor-Joy as what everybody thought was Frankie Ray, aka Nova, which is a Herald of Galactus, which everybody was cool with, or a female Silver Surfer.
Yeah. So perfect example. That is something that, depending on how it's played, I don't care if they sex change for it. Now, I will say it does bother me because I would rather see like the bald, like male sort of shape of Silver Surfer. And I guarantee you, I think it'll probably be Nova instead of Silver Surfer. I think because all these rumors are going about and all that stuff, I guarantee you it'll probably be Nova. I would be very shocked. Like my jaw would hit the floor if she ends up being like the trailer comes out and we see Anna Taylor-Joy as Silver Surfer, because I just don't see Kevin Feige. Like that is a very beloved character.
That's where I was going to go with that. That like, I don't, for the character's sake, I don't think that sex really matters. But at the same time, for fanboy sake, I think it matters a lot. And so I think it's just one of those where it's like, you're already getting enough flack for possibly being the MCU. If you change this big of a character over as being female, it's kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what are you actually going to get from that? Because Norrin Rad has like a freaking horrendous story.
Yeah, he does.
And for a guy, you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know.
Yeah, especially when you could just use her as like another beloved character. But I think it will, because it would make sense to make Anya Taylor-Joy Nova, who's a love interest for Johnny. And
yeah,
you could use that as a way to set up Galactus, and then eventually Silver Surfer shows up. So that's why I'm like, I really feel like all these rumors and stuff going around, it's like the game Telephone is like some wires got crossed and she's not being Silver Surfer.
It's almost like they didn't want to say Herald of Galactus. And so somebody said, oh yeah, Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And then from there, it went from like Silver Surfer to she is Silver Surfer. The only reason I think that she may not be Nova is because they keep talking about making a Nova property.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be that
Confusion.
can cause confusion,
Yeah.
understandably so. But to the fandom,
Yeah.
we would all know that, like, no, there's a difference. I think you're right, maybe on the Telephone deal, that like somebody just said, oh yeah, like Silver Surfer.
Mhm.
Oh, she's the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Because like that is such a like boneheaded move if they do that. Like that's a Sony level boneheaded move in my opinion.
That's great. What do y'all think about these other castings though? Because Pedro Pascal had another. There's heat on that as well. People either love it or they don't. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm neither here nor there on that one, honestly. I had to look him up. Like I did.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jeremy.
I don't keep up with his names. Yeah, I mean, I'm just sure. I really don't. I don't care, honestly. I mean, like, yeah, John Krasinski. I think he's obviously he was like the big fan cast or whatever. There, I think he
Yeah.
would be good, but whatever. If he does or doesn't want to do it, I mean, I'm just there to hopefully see that it. Hopefully, it'll go well.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't think I like any of this casting except for maybe Ben Grimm.
yes.
I love Pedro Pascal. I think he's an amazing actor. I do. Like all the roles that I listed, I think he's fantastic for it. I don't think he's the right pick for Mr. Fantastic. I don't think he captures that, like I said, brainy. Same thing I said about Adam Driver, I say to this. He doesn't capture that nerdy, brainy. I'm too entranced into my science to really know what else is going on with my wife and kids kind of stuff. I think it's a stunt casting, honestly, because he's a big name and they're like, hey, we're going to cast him and we'll try to get people to come to the movie to see, Pedro Pascal play Reed Richards. Vanessa Kirby, I haven't seen enough of her to really show me that she's a great actress. She's been in...
What is she from?
She's in Hobbs and Shaw. She plays Hobbs's like younger sister in it. And then she's been in two of the most recent Mission Impossible movies. She plays the White Widow, not to be confused with Yelena Belova. She's like, I don't know, like a nefarious, like drug arm dealer person. I don't know. They don't really flesh her character out. But anyway, she's in that. To be honest with you, I think they just cast her because she's a pretty blonde. To be honest with you, I hate to be ugly that way. My wife likes her. I don't.
I was going to say, I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, Joseph Quinn, he plays Eddie Munson from Stranger Things Season 4, everybody's favorite D&D Metallica shirt nerd, if you will. I am cautiously optimistic about this casting because he has also got a ton of stuff that he's been in that he's just not like the main character. So I think he probably has range to be Johnny. Johnny's supposed to be like ultra like hot, if you will, no pun intended. And he's kind of goofy looking in my opinion. They could give him the Marvel treatment where he, eats steamed chicken for 6 months and steroids and buff him up.
Right.
What's his name? Javier Bardem. He's, again, an amazing actor. I love his voice. I don't see it as Galactus. Like if I close my eyes and just like listen to him talk, I don't see that as Galactus, but I can be proven wrong.
What was he from?
Javier Bardem. He's in the Pirates movies. He's No Country for Old Men. What else? He's been in a ton. James, you haven't seen James Bond. He was in Skyfall. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Did you see Dune by chance? No. No. Okay.
Who?
Anya Taylor-Joy, again, we already kind of talked to that ad nauseum. I mean, she's a great actress. I don't want her to be Silver Surfer. She should be Nova. I guarantee she, like, my gut says that's a misfire there. But anyway, there was also Doctor Doom talks in there. I don't know if you got to that yet.
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah.
So the rumors are Cillian Murphy and Mads Mikkelsen. They lost their chance on Mads Mikkelsen, in my opinion, about 10 years ago. I don't think I think he's too old now. I don't think he's young enough to be Doom. And Cillian Murphy, he's a great actor. You know him from the Dark Knight trilogy. He plays Jonathan Crane.
Yes.
He was Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer.
Yes.
He's a ton of stuff.
I want him.
Mads Mikkelsen is Caecilius in Doctor Strange. He's Lashif in Casino Royale.
I'd be fine with him too.
He's Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal Lecter TV series. He's Galen Erso in Rogue One.
Yes.
He replaced Johnny Depp as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts movie, The Secret of Dumbledore, for Jeremy. So he'll know who it is.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that guy.
Years ago when I watched Casino Royale, which is a James Bond movie, I was like, this guy's Doctor Doom. This guy's Doctor Doom for me. I like this casting. But time has gone on and he's gotten much older, and I don't think he's a right role, but a right fit for this. But it seems like as far as ages go, he may be a right fit for if this is our cast. I'm kind of like disappointed with this news. I was going to be really excited when they announced, but all these casts, I'm like, eh.
Interesting enough, I didn't see any news for Valeria nor Franklin.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Because, yeah, there is rumors that the kids are already going to be established in the movie.
And then the age of the ones of Reed and Sue and stuff like that, like, kind of implies that they may be of age to already have like older children and stuff. So, and then there's also talks that this is an alternate reality, like this Fantastic Four, and it's going to be a set piece. It's even going to be shot in a 24 frame rate, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, cool.
To give it that like 60s, 70s vibe when you're watching it. So lots of other cool rumors going along with that. One rumor that got hashed out here not long ago was Steven Yeun as the Sentry. And that was spilled by the great Robert Kirkman, who does not give a fuck. Rumor is that Steven may still be playing somebody else in the MCU, and also that Lewis Pullman may be taking over Steven's place as the Sentry. But I think the most funniest part of this whole thing is Kirkman's response and where all this happened. It happened on David Finch's YouTube where he was drawing, and Kirkman said this. He says, I don't think this is a spoiler or anything that will get anybody in trouble. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't care. I don't work for Marvel. What are they going to do to me? He called me and he said that he came back from a costume fitting for Sentry. Like, this is live on YouTube. Freaking, I don't know how many people watch David Finch when he's drawing and stuff like that. I've been in the chats a few times whenever he's doing it, and because he just does amazing work. But I wasn't there for this one, and that's just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So are y'all relieved that Steven's not the Sentry, or would you rather have seen him play the Sentry?
Well, first you have to know who the Sentry is. Have some kind of connection there.
As Steven said, it's a guy in a blue and yellow suit, so he has a track record for that.
Apparently, yeah, that's what he was saying. Apparently, I just play guys in blue and yellow, and I was like, oh, okay, well, at least now I know what colors his suit is. But Steven, he's a good actor to me. I've enjoyed him for most of everything he's done. I think in whatever he ends up, and he'll do a good job. So again, I don't have any kind of
opinion.
Yeah, there you go. I just lost it there. Like, it just kind of trailed off. I was like, well, crap, there it goes. Okay, it's not coming back. I'm good either way, honestly.
Yeah, I'm so when we first heard rumors that Steven Yeun, I think we talked about it on another news episode, that Steven Yeun would be playing the Sentry, which we explained to Jeremy back then who the Sentry was, but he seems to forget it like he's some sort of Alzheimer's patient. Anyway,
or Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, maybe not poor Jeremy. Every day's a new day for him.
That's true. 51st days.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. His wife, I'm saying, she is a trooper.
When I first heard this, I was like, I know, absolutely not. Because Steven Yeun, the only thing I had really seen him in was in like Nope and in The Walking Dead. And, he plays like a lawful good type character in The Walking Dead. Like, he's honestly my favorite character from The Walking Dead, Glenn. And I was like, I can't see him playing Robert, whatever his name is. I can't remember the Sentry's real name. But anyway, he was like schizo, Superman, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can't see that. But then a Netflix show came out, and my wife and I watched it, where he starred in it, called Beef. And in it, he plays a just asshole of a person. Just an asshole. And I was like, okay, never mind. I could absolutely see him playing the Sentry. So when I heard that he dropped out, I was like, oh, that's sad. And then everyone had speculated that it was due to Robert Kirkman. Like, he told Robert Kirkman, and then Robert Kirkman leaked it. And then he had to come out and basically say, no, it's not because of that. It's because of the writer strike went on and all this stuff. And I just had I have scheduling issues now, and I have prior things that I promised I would be in before that. And now I can't. And then the guy that they're getting, Lewis Pullman is rumored to be, that came out just recently. He's Bill Pullman's son. And if you don't know who Bill Pullman's son is, he was the president in Independence Day. He was the dad in Casper. He played Lone Star in Spaceballs.
Never seen that.
You've what? just
I was waiting to get the shame bell.
I had to physically assault you on that one.
As far as Yeun, I like him as an actor. I think his Glenn's great. I haven't seen Invincible. I haven't seen Beef. I know that he wanted to do Thunderbolts, or was jumping on because that same director that did Beef was doing Thunderbolts. So I like that there was a dynamic there. I don't necessarily see him as a Sentry, but I'm also from the days of when, people were like, oh, absolutely, Heath Ledger couldn't be the Joker. No. He did a great Joker. Absolutely. Ben Affleck, no, not for Batman, not for Daredevil. No. I love him as both Batman and Daredevil. So he could have done a great job. The world will never know.
Yep.
It's like how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
It's over 9,000. Anyway.
1, 2, 3.
3.
Let's move on with some Daredevil casting rumors, things like that. Supposedly, we're getting Foggy and Karen back. Do y'all give a shit?
Yes.
Really? These would be.
See, the children are even happy.
Oh my goodness. These would be from the Netflix TV show. We're talking Deborah Ann Woll and Eldon Henson reprising their role of, respectively, Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. I've heard rumors that they're bringing him back just to kill him on screen because beforehand it was rumored that they were going to have him already dead off screen.
Yeah, which is
so. I hope they don't do that. Like, as much as I don't care that they're coming back, I hope that they do not do that at all. I think it's confirmed actually now that the guy that played Bullseye, he's going to be back.
Yeah, which all the stuff that I've heard leaks now wise has been, obviously they were going to be killed off screen, Karen and Foggy, and like Matt wasn't going to be Daredevil for like whatever 6 fucking episodes or something like that, which is just a boneheaded move from them. And anyway, now, we talked about it, but they announced that Daredevil Born Again was being like scrapped and written from the ground up, and they were keeping footage of fight scenes, but pretty much all the stuff with Matt just being Matt, they're reshooting. And then now there's set leaks of him leaving Nelson, Murdoch, and Page with Nelson, Murdoch, and Page. So I know they're only there for 3 episodes. I don't think they'll kill Foggy. I hope they don't kill Foggy. Being that Bullseye's coming back, Karen's a goner. Spoilers, our listeners. Bullseye kills Karen in the comics. Like, she's a goner. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen with her. But I don't know for sure. I don't think they'll kill her off screen. But I got a feeling that may be what they're going to do, because I can't remember. I don't think she gets killed in Born Again. I think she gets killed in a different run after that. But she gets killed very shortly after the Born Again story, I want to say. So,
Jeremy, you haven't seen any of the Netflix stuff, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Is it the director from the Netflix stuff, or is it the writer from the Netflix stuff that has moved over to Born Again?
I don't know.
I can't remember which one, but there's somebody associated with the Netflix stuff that has moved over. Whoever did the choreography and set up those like hallway fight scenes and stuff like that, they better grab that motherfucker and bring him.
Oh man, you like the best, the best one in my opinion. Like I love the first one where they did it like it was like a one shot take, but season 3. Slight spoilers, because I don't think you've seen season 3, have you, Michael?
I have not seen season 3 yet.
Well, slight spoilers, because there's a 3-way fight scene between Bullseye in the Daredevil costume, Daredevil in his Man Without Fear costume, and Kingpin. And Bullseye's trying to kill Kingpin, and Daredevil has to basically keep Kingpin alive. And Kingpin is like, fuck both of y'all, I'll kill you both. And it is one of the coolest choreographed fight scenes, because everybody feels like they fight like how you would think they would fight. So Bullseye isn't like a super like he has karate and he does the best karate move. You know what I mean? He's just throwing shit and trying to like kill Kingpin with whatever he can throw at. And Daredevil is doing his Daredevil stuff. So he's like, boxing, fighting, doing flips, throwing his not Billy Club, but he's throwing stuff to stop Bullseye. And then Kingpin is just picking up Daredevil and throwing him across the room. And while it's not like this cool, like I said, like kung fu type fighting style, it's just really cool to see 3 people fighting all at once. And there's this really weird dynamic with it. Anyway, it's cool.
Yeah, the first season, that hallway, I love that. And then I love season 2, Frank Castle prison hallway scene. Cool. That's all you're missing. You're missing out, Jeremy. This is some good shit.
Yeah.
For those of you who have missed out, check out all these shows are on Disney Plus right now. They are canon with the MCU timeline. Daredevil and Jessica Jones coming before the first Avengers film, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Defenders coming before Civil War, and The Punisher coming before the first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, this is the part that I don't like.
Really?
I was really hoping they would cherry pick the Netflix and just say the Netflix was literally a multiversal Daredevil. This Daredevil, he looks exactly like that other Daredevil, and certain events that happened in that other Daredevil's life happened here. Only because I really just want them, like with Born Again, I want them to do the Born Again story where Kingpin knows that Matt is Daredevil, and he's just like, you know what? I'm going to fuck your life up. I'm going to ruin you professionally, personally, and just because I fucking hate you. And that's what he kind of does in season 3. And I would much rather see like them do that for this show. Also, I don't like one of the main reasons why I don't like making not just Daredevil, but Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. One, Iron Fist is just garbage, so let's not make that canon. Luke Cage season 1 was okay. Season 2 was like just I don't know. It was just so laughable. It was how bad it was. Jessica Jones season 1 is great. Season 2 is okay, but it adds confusion because Mahershala Ali, who's casted as Blade, is a villain in Luke Cage season 1 as Cottonmouth. Also,
that was great.
Black Mariah, who was also in season 1 of Luke Cage and season 2, I believe. She plays, you could easily get away with her, but she plays a character in Civil War that hands the photo to Tony of, when she guilts him about like, my son went to Sokovia to help people and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the actress that plays Black Mariah. And then we just talked about it, but the actor that's possibly going to play Ben Grimm is Micro in the Punisher series. So it adds a lot of confusion. Now, I know they've had multiple actors play different roles in the MCU, but I don't know. To me, I feel like that's gonna, if someone decides to watch those shows, they're gonna be like, wait, is that the same person? Like, especially Blade. Blade's my big Mahershala Ali as Cottonmouth and now as Blade is gonna be the biggest confusion.
I could see that, but they'll explain it all with the blip.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what's going to play a role in this? Like why these people haven't been around or whatever is because they were blipped.
Yeah.
Like all the Defenders and everybody associated was just blipped.
Well, the rumor was that Kingpin came into power. When Kingpin shows up in Hawkeye, the reason Kingpin came into power is that Daredevil, like all the street levels essentially were blipped, and he had basically 5 years worth to build up his like crime syndicate and make it as powerful as it is.
I wonder too, because you were like, I want them to do the Born Again storyline. I wonder too if rumor mill is that Kingpin is going to become mayor.
Yeah.
And there's hints of that because at the end of Echo as well.
Well, it's more than rumor. It's basically confirmed. There's been set photos of newspapers of like Kingpin running for mayor.
Yeah. And they're going to do a whole new possible Civil War type thing or whatever. And it's going to be him outlawing vigilantism.
Right.
So it's possible that he could know who Matt is by the end.
Well, he knows who Matt is by the end of season 2.
That's true.
And then season 3, he's like, I know you're Daredevil. I'm going to fuck your life up.
That's true. That's true. But now he's back. If he got blipped, now he's back.
Yeah.
Cool. Somebody who's not back and probably is not coming back is Jonathan Majors. And there's a whole...
No, real quick, I wrote down my joke. Kang the canceled. Kang the incarcerated. He who no longer remains. He who remains behind bars. And he who will be recasted.
That was going to be one of the questions. Do y'all think they're going to recast Kang?
I hope so. I mean, well, you mean they recast or just say, well, nope, he's not there kind of thing?
Yeah, because a lot of people have been like, oh, the way that Loki season 2 ended, they could just be done with Kangs. And I'm like, no, they've kind of set the TV up to be looking for Kang. So, like, he's still pretty much a big thing. Like,
well, I mean,
they have a whole department looking for Kang. So,
yeah.
Turns out we found none of them, though.
What does he
So-
look like now?
Yeah, and I mean, like you pretty much have to just pretty much cancel their whole like movie schedule there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'd be dumb if they can't just throw him out the door.
It has come out that Avengers: The Kang Dynasty is now
Just being
a
referred.
working title of Avengers 5.
Yeah.
So it could come back as Kang Dynasty, but it could also be Secret Wars Part 1 or Battle World
Yeah.
or whatever they want to make it. Like,
Nope, it's not Kang, it's Doom.
Yeah.
So Majors was found guilty of reckless assault of the third degree and harassment. This is all because of the conflict that happened at the car. And there's a lot of video of it, and it showed him and how he handled his girlfriend at the time. He was not found guilty of intentional assault in the third degree, aggravated assault in the second degree, which is why you'll see a lot of people also stating that they kind of want them to bring Majors back because the charges that he has were of like unintentional, like he was not. And then if you watch the video, you can kind of see both sides of it depending on where you're looking at. And so a lot of people are kind of like, hey, bring Majors back. He did it by accident
Yeah, but
kind of thing.
though there was also text messages that were brought up to
Right.
like show his character. And this was before this incident
Right.
where apparently he hit her and she had like headaches or something and she wanted to go to the hospital and he was like begging her not to. And she was saying, I won't tell him you did it. I promise. And then he was being super manipulative and saying like, I'm just going to kill myself. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I think I told you this off podcast back when it was going on. But when those text messages came out, I was like, Disney has typed up the email, whatever. They're just
Oh.
waiting for the trial to basically be done. And then they're going to say, nope, we're no longer, we can't be associated with you. Yeah. So I was not shocked when all this sort of came out. He is going to appeal.
Yes. Well, and that's exactly what Disney did. As soon as the verdict came down, he got charged with those.
Mhm.
They were like, okay, bye.
Mhm.
Okay, love you. Bye bye. Like, one of my statements was when looking at the video, when hearing about the text messages, when hearing about, because there was a voice recording of like how he wanted his partner, his mate to be.
Oh, yeah, that was
and how she was supposed, and like I kind of I understood where he was going with it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know, man, you're kind of weird. And
Yeah. The way he said that, like, it speaks to a lot of what he thinks about himself, which is like, it's a
yeah.
very narcissistic view of himself. So anyway,
But I said something on somebody's chat or whatever. I was like, it's gonna come out that both these people are, in Richard's words, banana pants crazy.
yeah.
Like they're both fucked
Yeah.
up, really. Like,
Mhm.
it seemed he's gotten since then away from that relationship. Good for him. I hope that whatever the case is, whatever help he needs, I hope he gets it, and I hope he bounces back. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. had, caught a drug charge and stuff like that years ago, and they built a whole fucking multiverse on him. So
Yeah.
there is a chance for redemption. I just hope he gets what he needs to be able to get that story.
Yeah. Well, he needs to look inwards.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree completely.
And
Yes.
just don't just don't do that.
Right.
It's not hard. It's just don't do that.
Don't do bad things, okay? So February 6th is his trial date. So that's coming up. And like you said earlier, he's going to appeal. Disney dropped as soon as the verdict came out. Names have come up as far as replacements. And the first one I absolutely positively love. And it's Coleman Domingo, who played
Strand.
Strand. Yes, I completely lost his name from Fear the Walking Dead. And I love that character. I love the way he plays that character. I love the swagger that he has.
Yeah.
And he could be such a great villain. And I absolutely freaking positively love that and want that.
He's also got a cool ass voice, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I love that casting as well. I think that's a great casting for it if it ends up being true. And one of the articles we had sent back and forth, he was like, I don't know if he was playing coy, but he was like, oh, I didn't know I was being cast for that, but yeah, I'd be cool for that.
Yeah, he seems totally open to play the role, and he even said, yeah, I'd like to play something, and I'd love to be a villain.
Yeah.
He's even come out and said, like, I want to be a villain.
Yeah.
I would love to be a villain. So, man, that would be. Whew. Jeremy, do you know who Coleman Domingo is?
Yeah, like after seeing his pictures, I didn't know him by name, obviously. I saw him after I saw the picture. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know this. I've seen this guy. So I agree. Like, I think it'd be a good casting of him. And I saw in the article too where he had said before where he wanted to be part of Marvel and would entertain that idea. So if they could get him to come in on this one, I think it'd be a great transition there. Great casting.
I know DC already has a Lex Luthor, but I could also see him as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Just the confidence he has and the way that he like says things. I'm just like,
yeah, no, he's got that. He's definitely got the Lex swagger, if you will.
Yes.
But I need to see him bald. He's got to have a nice shaped head. Not everybody. I'm one of those people. I shave my head. I look like fucking Uncle Fester. Like, I just look fucking weird.
Can't everybody do it, man? Can't everybody do it?
You have a very nicely shaped head.
I know.
Phrasing. Like I don't know what.
Peanut M&M. A red one when I laugh too much. The worst thing is, like, if you're one of those bald guys and you have a hot dog pack on the back of your head.
Oh, yeah. The rolls, the fat rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What's funny is I think Thanos has that. I think they modeled him to have those.
I need to go back and look at that now. Also, another name thrown out there is John David Washington as Kang. And I believe you mentioned him, Richard, as your Jon Stewart for the DCU.
I did.
With DC fan casting with TM Nerdy.
Yes. Shout out to TM. How you doing, man?
Nerdy, right?
The Oreos, are they real or are they not?
No. He's been giving me shit about that. It's funny. Go check TM out over on YouTube. He just broke 1,000, and so he's got his own membership program open, and he's gonna be doing some cool stuff. And he's got a whole new like live show that he's doing on Wednesday night. So plug TM for him, and go check him out on YouTube. So yeah, Jonathan David Washington. What do y'all think about him as far as Kang? I did not. You were telling me off podcast that he is Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah, he is, which is it's very odd because he doesn't look a thing like he must take after his mom because he doesn't look a thing like Denzel. He has no features like him at all. So the two movies I've seen him in, oh crap, now I can't remember one of them. Anyway, the one that I can remember the most is Tenet.
Okay.
It's like a time travel movie. It's by Christopher Nolan. A lot of people, it's not the greatest movie. It's very confusing on how time travel works in that movie. I get it. But anyway, he's in that movie. His name is Protagonist, which I think is really dumb because he is the protagonist. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Anywho,
it's meta, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Nolan was on something when writing that movie. I really don't understand. Anyway, regardless, I think he's he's in another movie that's got Margot Robbie and Batman, the one that Michael doesn't like. I'm going Gore the God Butcher. I can't think of his name.
Bale,
thank you. Christian Bale. He's in that movie. I cannot remember the name of it, but anyway, he's good in that as well. So I think he would be a great Jon Stewart. And honestly, I would be fine with Kang, though I will say I like Coleman Domingo better, only because, again, Coleman Domingo has a really cool sounding voice.
Yeah. I know that one of the rumors that was going on before either one of these was his father, Denzel, playing Kang. And I'm like, at first I was like, Denzel's gotten too old.
Yeah.
Like he's just gotten too old to do something like that. But at the same time, if we had like a very
he's a Mortis
stoic, maybe Mortis, that could be cool. Just somebody who doesn't move around a lot, just sits in a chair, which that's Kang. I mean, let's be honest. And
or Nick Fury. Sorry, I had to say it.
No, you're good. Because that's spot on. Yeah. He's got the voice. Like in my head, I could like hear him and picture him being Kang and like laughing at the Avengers and stuff. And I love it. I freaking absolutely love it.
Yeah, I don't
Amsterdam.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the movie. Yes. Thank you. Albuquerque.
Exactly.
Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, no.
Amsterdam's the movie that he was trying to.
Yes, Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
It's a good movie, but anyway.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. I've at least heard of Tenet, but I hadn't watched it. No surprise.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen. I haven't seen any of that. Either one of those. I really couldn't speak to whether he'd be good as being Kang or not. I still stick to the first, the Coleman doing it instead. So
Yes, Coleman,
Yep.
bring your ass over here.
That's right, Feige. 3 of us have unanimously decided that Coleman Domingo should be Kang. So make it so.
Make it happen, right? Yes. Can we just be Feige's like hiring committee? I think we would do a great job at this.
The Infinity Saga, whoever did the like casting for them deserves a raise, but I don't know if it's the same person now. But like some of them, I'm like, this is all stunt casting to me. Like, can we get back to like the known? Like, nobody knew who Chris Hemsworth was, except for unless you were in Australia. Like, nobody knew who Chris Hemsworth was, and all these other people. Not Robert Evans. We kind of knew. Everyone knew ScarJo. I don't think much people knew Ruffalo or Hawkeye. I can't fucking Renner.
Yeah.
That no-name Samuel L. Jackson as well.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
He's not no name. Yeah, he's been in every fucking movie at this point.
Yeah.
Naming his wallet and shit. What's wrong with him? I have seen that movie.
You've seen Pulp Fiction?
I have.
Wow.
Wow. Y'all got anything else? We have overstayed our welcome in these people's ears.
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
But y'all enjoyed every damn minute of it.
No, I'm good.
Cool. Richard?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Awesome. Jeremy, where can I find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. It's Night with a K, and you can find me here.
Awesome. Richard?
I did not.
Oh,
I gave him an eyebrow raise. I gave him the people's eyebrow, if you will, people.
Yeah,
Shame, Jeremy. Shame.
I know.
Shame.
Not doing good this episode.
Just, I'm gonna slap you around too. Yeah. What are we doing? It's me.
Thanks
you
for
wanna-
waiting, Madam Web.
Yes. God damn it. No.
February 14th, people.
Yeah.
Get your webbing on.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
All right, enough of this. If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, an Instagram, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day night, and curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
That's great. You can find me on Instagram and eBay at 22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 comics. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. With all that being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy. Bye.
I don't think this is a spoiler or anything that'll get anybody in trouble. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't care. I don't work for Marvel. What are they going to do to me?